Hey everybody, today is December 5th, and I wanted to personally thank you all for watching the second episode of the website Buyer Beware series on the 1000 Red Gates channel. In this series, we will look at websites for sale on online business website marketplaces like Flippa and Empire Flippers. For a lot of first time entrepreneurs, the idea of making money online is one of the most alluring ways to achieving financial independence. During their initial research for making money online, entrepreneurs inevitably come across ideas like dropshipping, retail arbitrage, e-commerce, and Amazon FBA. Digging deeper, they come across platforms like Shopify, WooCommerce, and AliExpress. Things start to get heavier when they realize they need to learn marketing and about the complexities of digital marketing and websites like search engine optimization, conversion optimization, organic keywords, backlinks, and content generation. With all of this front-loaded upfront work, first-time entrepreneurs turn to an out-of-the-box solution for earning money online, buying websites for sale on online business marketplaces like Flippa and Empire Flippers. These buy and sell website platforms are a great way to see what's available for sale on the market and to get yourself acquainted with different types of online businesses like starter sites, e-commerce sites, content ad sites, and SaaS sites. But, some of the major difficulties lying in wait for a first-time entrepreneur interested in buying a website are assessing the online business's value and identifying opportunities for growth. The website Worth It series was created to help first-time entrepreneurs figure out if a website is worth it and what they can do immediately after buying a website to grow its traffic and in turn its revenue. The website Buyer Beware series was created after essentially seeing that are some of these websites not worth it. Some of these websites are actually pretty much pump and dump scams. Something's going weird with them, and I've noticed that. And interestingly enough, I would think that they would be some minuscule like no name websites, but really they're some of the most active websites for sale on some of these platforms. So the website Buyer Beware series was created for that reason, because there's so many websites up there that pretty much are trying to take advantage of first time buyers. So with that being said, today's episode is a website Buyer Beware series. And this website is pretty much, from what I can understand, it's the most active website on Flippa. So this is the one that people are talking about. I'm thinking with bids and whatever Flippa decides to use for its active algorithm and sorting and all that stuff that they do. I mean, I don't work at Flippa, but active means active. Stuff is happening. People are looking at it. People are commenting. People are bidding. So the website we're going to be looking at today is www.dogwalkdirect.com. So here's the website. It's a basic WordPress WooCommerce website. They sell pet products, and honestly, I think that the pet industry and pet sales is actually fantastic. There is a lot of money to be made, especially if you have a great social media program lined up for it. I mean, you know, photos of animals and animals wearing these products. I mean, you can make a killing with a website like this, to be totally honest. Now, can you make a killing with this website though? Well, just right off the bat, I mean, even if you look at it, there are some pretty incredible, absolutely free WordPress WooCommerce themes. Ones that will blow your socks off, that look incredible. You can just go right up to, WordPress free themes on ThemeForest and all these other websites. I mean, and some of those websites, the design of them is incredible. I mean, but if you look at this one, I'd say it's below basic, nothing to even nod your head at. It's one of those websites where you're like, okay, at least it functions, at least it works. But this is a pretty old school type of template to use. And I'm not too sure why the seller hasn't just did a simple one-click template upgrade. I mean, they wouldn't even have to repurpose or remove some of the stuff around. The template itself would actually just accommodate. It would figure out what everything is, and it would do almost 90% of the heavy lifting in changing the design. And they would only need to do the remaining 10%, which is just moving some stuff around. I mean, WordPress design is pretty easy, and you can jump on Fiverr or Upwork, or there's a bunch of other websites where you have WordPress designers. They can come in there and move stuff around. So why why this website still looks like this, I have no clue. It's a bit odd. But anyway, so this is the actual website. I don't want to focus actually too much on it, since really where the magic is happening is on the seller page that's on Flippa. So let's actually just take a look at that. And if you see here, this seller says they're a trusted seller with over 54 transactions and 100% feedback, premium automated website. They want, yeah, they set a reserve price of $51. Anyway, so the current price with 262 bids is $5,650. So I'm totally blown away by the amount of bids that are on this seller's page. I mean, it's incredible. It and it really makes me happy that I started this channel and this podcast, because those 262 bids, if they're actual individual unique people, really just goes to tell me that a lot of you are first time buyers and really have and it's not your fault, but you have no clue on what these websites are worth and what the heck is actually going on. A website like this is sold really well. I mean, you look at how this seller has pretty much put together all their text, right? I mean, who doesn't want to buy from a trusted seller with over 54 transactions and 100% feedback, premium automated passive income store, and it's made over $28,000 in the past 10 months, and you get their social media. What else could you ask for? I mean, that's almost perfect, right? It's an e-commerce platform. It's 1 year old, and it's already making $1,800 in profit per month. It gets 5,000 unique visits. I mean, what else could you ask for? This is where all the magic happens. So, if you scroll down now, and if you're watching on the video, you can follow along. If you're listening to the podcast, you can always just reference the podcast notes, and you'll be able to see entire full PDF reports on these websites, and you can have more information than actually what you would be seeing here in my stream. But anyway, so if you're going down to the traffic health section, and it's giving you the pages, it's giving you the average session duration. So this is why and to me, this is the biggest red flag. This is what really made my mind go, wait, what? So first off, they provided traffic from July to July to October. Well, the thing about it is that if you're a website with 1 year history, and this is a Google Analytics traffic integration, you can provide traffic from the beginning of the website to now. To me, that's a more accurate way of seeing how the website's been growing. I mean, you can tell if something's been growing steadily, whether it's had explosive growth, whether it's in the decline. You don't want to buy a website in the decline unless if you have very, very strong digital marketing skills, search engine optimization skills, paid ad skills. If you have that, or you have the budget to hire those people, then okay, it makes sense to buy a website in the decline. But typically, you want to buy a website that's steadily increasing. You want to get the best bang for your buck. But to be able to really see a historical view of that, the seller needs to provide a longer term of data. So when someone just does 1, 2, 3, 4 months, you can't trust that. That means that they might have been preparing to sell the website. They could have done some funny business to boost up their traffic, to boost up their visitors, just to make it look more appetizing to potential buyers. So, but even with that said, for the 4 months of data that they provided, yeah, it shows that in October they had 25,000 unique visitors. September they had 10,000. August they had 25,000, and then in July it went down to 4,000. I'm sorry, well, it's backwards. So July it was 4,000, August it was 25, September it was 10,000, and then October it was 25. So you can see it if you're comparing from July to October. You're like, wow, that's some pretty damn good growth. Page views also grew as well. But then you look down at where it says average session duration. It says 18 seconds. That is, for an e-commerce website, if you're saying that the average session is 18 seconds, well, what the hell are these people buying? How are they buying something in 18 seconds? I mean, a buying decision takes a bit longer than that, so that's already a red flag. So how can a website generate $1,800 in profit a month with a 18-second average visitor duration and with a 69% bounce rate? That's a pretty high bounce rate for, even for an e-commerce website. That means that, almost 70% of the people visit the website and do not visit more than one page. They leave as soon as they land on that main page. That doesn't bode well for an e-commerce website unless unless their landing page is the product page that they were being marketed to. So let's go down to top channels. This was also a bit suspicious. Organic search is 47, referral is 59, direct is 480, and social is 83,912. So, basically what the seller is saying is that the lion's share, 99% of the traffic that's being sent to dogwalkdirect.com is coming from social media. Well, that's all well and good, right? But then at the same time you ask yourself, is it organic social media? Is it posting to a page and, just your fans interacting with it? Or is it social media ads, right? Is it a Facebook ad? Is it an Instagram ad? Is it a boosted post, right? These are all costs. This is not free. They claimed up they claimed earlier that it was free social media traffic, but they didn't really explain what that actually entails. So, but for 99%, that's a pretty high number. It's not really diversified traffic. Organic search should be way higher. You don't want to pick up a website that makes the majority of its traffic from social media, especially when they don't explain how that traffic is being generated from social media, whether it's going to be organic or whether it's going to be paid. And even if it is paid, is it boosted or is it, ads being ran? I mean, they did state earlier that they do have an ad agency and that they do some type of ads, but then again, it was confused as if it's going to be a Google ad or a Facebook ad. They're a bit sort of not being transparent on the details. So we're going to keep going down here. We're looking at the profit, the revenue, the cost, and the profit. I mean, again, these numbers these numbers seem okay. But then again, what are the costs? How much of it is actually from marketing? How much of it is from product acquisition? It's drop shipping. So what are the actual acquisition costs? So let's go down to the seller's notes. The seller states that here's all the websites that they've sold: starter site for 1,300, starter site for 400, starter site for 1,400. And so those are the major sales that the seller has had. But then this website's already, at 5,600, which is a bit higher than anything they've ever sold. So you'd have to ask yourself, what's special about this website? What do they have going on? So if you look at the income and traffic reports, this says, as proof, here are some of our incomes from our stores, AdSense reports, etc. Not all, though. The traffic is generated by social marketing media instead of social media marketing and SEO. So this is kind of where I want to jump in. Here is the traffic being generated by social media marketing. They have it written backwards. It's making me feel dyslexic. And search engine optimization. So from what I did in my own personal analysis, and I'll show you guys, right? They're stating that it's coming from SEO. Well, when you do a site crawl of the website, and this is on moz.com, you do a site crawl of the website, you'll find that actually they have absolutely terrible SEO. I mean, when it comes to an e-commerce website, SEO is your number one. I mean, that's the first thing that you do because you're leveraging whatever product pages you've already created. You don't have to do more work if you just simply make sure that right when you add a product to an e-commerce website that you leverage every aspect of search engine optimization on-site search engine optimization to really make it so that your product gets out there, so that it's indexed by Google algorithm and the algorithm knows, like for example, if they're selling a pet product and the pet product is a collar. Well, if you don't have if in your SEO for that collar page you don't have a description, you have a weird redirect, the URL's too long, and these are all things that you can see here that this website has. I mean, it has almost 255 missing descriptions for its product pages. It has, and again, so these missing descriptions is when someone searches for a product and they're doing it in Google search, the product shows up. Well, the description is right under the title tag, and it'll tell you essentially what that page is about. It entices a user to click, right? If it's for a collar, it'll say, high quality collar at a great fantastic price. Click now. right? This is a typical description for an e-commerce website. So when you're seeing that there are 255 product pages that are missing a description, that's not something that you want to buy as a you don't want to buy as a buyer, because you're going to have to put in that work first. This is something that they should have already done, and it should have already been baked into the price of the website that's for sale. The second issue is that they have a lot of temporary redirects. A redirect is basically when you think you're going to go to www.google.com, but instead you're sent to a different URL. That's a redirect. There's two types of redirects. One redirect, Google says, is a temporary redirect. And another redirect is a redirect that Google considers a permanent redirect. It's 301 and 302. That's the technical terms. But point of it is one of them Google likes and one of them Google hates. The one that Google likes is a permanent redirect, and the one that Google hates is a temporary redirect. When Google sees that you have a lot of temporary redirects, Google says, okay, well, since this is a temporary thing, then I shouldn't give you any SEO benefits or ranking benefits from this redirect. When you do a permanent redirect, Google does give you almost 99% of whatever ranking benefits and SEO benefits it was going to give you. So if you buy this website with all these missing descriptions and temporary redirects, you're just going to have to go back in already and do an overhaul. That's going to cost you time and that's going to cost you money. If you're going to have the seller give this website to you, if you're going to buy it from them, you need to have them go back in there, just add a plugin to their WordPress that does the redirects as permanent redirects, and they add a plugin that basically makes it pretty quick to add the missing descriptions to all of the pages. So that would be something that they'd have to fix right off the bat. So jumping back to the aspect where they were saying where their traffic comes from, this right here is SimilarWeb. Now, granted, these online analyzation tools are not the most accurate, right? The most accurate data you're ever going to get is directly from the Google Analytics of the seller. But when they don't provide that information, you can use these different tools to come up with a pretty accurate estimate. So when you're looking at SimilarWeb and it's telling you their traffic for this website, I mean, they claimed a lot of it comes from social, but I don't see any social traffic here. It's all direct. So how are they actually using social media? In what way are they generating this traffic? Because to me, it doesn't seem transparent and it seems a little bit deceptive. When you go back to the actual seller's page, and I'll show you here, you can start seeing that a few things are coming up a little odd, right? It says here under the highlights, it says strengths. It says free traffic from social media with, I think they meant to say which at this point has around 4,000 followers. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think that they posted the social media pages inside their brief for their Flippa page? Answer is no, they did not. They're not even giving it. So you can't even verify any of this information. They want to only give it to the seller. So that, and already it's pretty much a red flag. So when someone tells you, hey, the majority, 99% of the traffic is being generated from social media, and we can't give you the social media pages, that's a pretty massive red flag. For me, my buyer beware spidey sense goes off and says, you know what, this is something that you'd have to avoid at all costs, because it sounds like they are trying to just pump and dump this website. Here under the section where this says what the biggest bidder will get with the sale is that they will get a Facebook page and an Instagram page, but in nowhere can you find either page for these social media accounts. It says it has Facebook ads and Instagram ads ready. Okay, where like where is all this? Where's the proof of these ads that are being run? When it says Facebook ads and Instagram ads ready, does that mean that they've run Facebook ads, that they've run Instagram ads, or that they have on their Facebook and Instagram business page the ability to run an ad? These choice of words, it's not just semantics, it's deceiving. You can make someone think that you have Facebook ads and Instagram ads running when you just really mean that you have the ability to run the ads. And this is an Instagram influencers list. So if this stuff is true, then that's great, right? In a sense, having a strong social media following to be able to push a product is great, and you can make a lot of money off of that. Even said at the beginning, a great way to market this website would definitely be on social media, because come on, it's pets, it's dogs. Everybody loves dogs, right? So going down, and I'm just going to jump back here to not these marketing channels. One moment. Yeah, so I really wanted to actually go back up to one point, and you're going to see this a lot with a lot of websites that are on Flippa and on Empire Flippers and just in general any of these buy websites, sell website marketplaces. The Google traffic is verified, right? They can integrate with Google Analytics and it can give you some verification. But always remember that the financials, when it comes to gross revenue and net profit and all these things, right, and their financials and their monetization methods, remember, it's not verified. This is just data that the seller themselves put. So I'll give you guys a really good tip. If you want to buy a website that's worth a grain of salt, that's worth $1, that's worth anything, whether it's a Shopify website, whether it's Magento, whether it's WordPress WooCommerce, I don't care which one it is. All of them must have Google Analytics, right? You don't buy a website that doesn't have Google Analytics, because if you can't get access to the Google Analytics, then they can pretty much lie completely, forge numbers, and even if they're not trying to lie, you don't want to buy a website without looking at the raw data. Well, with every Google Analytics integration, there's another option that you can turn on. All right, you have two options: basic e-commerce tracking and advanced e-commerce tracking. Well, with basic e-commerce tracking and advanced e-commerce tracking, you will be able to see in real time and historically actual transactions that have been made on the website. So if it's an e-commerce website and they sell products, once they integrate the basic e-commerce tracking, which is free, mind you, you just turn it on, you put a little bit of code. I mean, anybody can do it, you can do it, but if you don't want to do it, you can find someone on Fiverr who will do it for $5. They'll do a fantastic job. They specialize in it and they can have it turned on. So if a seller doesn't have it turned on, does not have e-commerce tracking activated, that to me is a huge red flag. And I kind of immediately avoid websites like that because they're choosing not to accurately represent their revenue and profit. So always check that. Always ask when you're talking to any one of these people who are selling these websites, ask them to show you their e-commerce tracking report. So I'm going to show you here for those that are watching the stream. You can see it right here. Here's an example of it, right? It shows you the product. It shows you the product revenue. It shows you how many unique purchases it has, how much quantity there is, what the average price, the average quantity, the product refund amount, the cart to detail rate, and the buy to detail rate. And again, you can go from very basic to very advanced. But essentially, this installation is super simple. It automatically categorizes the data as you add products. You only have to install it one time, and you never have to think about it ever again. It starts tracking how many people are buying, at what price. I mean, even if you never intend to sell your website, you need to have this integrated so that you can understand what sort of revenue you're making, what sort of sales you're making, how to remarket to clients and to customers, how to do retargeting, seeing what products are working the best. I mean, just this integration itself can completely and totally change the success of your business. So for this seller not to have that integration, not to show this report is a big red flag. I would totally ask them for it. They most likely are not going to have it, or if they did have it, they're not going to give it to you. But it doesn't hurt to try. So just to tie it up, I'm just going to go run down right here into the comments section. There are about 30 comments on this page, and some of them are pretty insightful. So one of them was asking, can you provide links to the social media? They are not readily available on the homepage. And to which the seller responded, actually, the next 1, 2, 3, almost 4 comments have something to do with the social media, having the social media provided. So let's see what Igor, the seller, actually said to these people. He said, I have sent you the social media accounts and private messages. If I missed someone, please contact me. So here's the thing with that. I personally do not like sellers who always say, I've sent you everything in private messages. When they say that and when they do that, to me, it's a bit deceiving. You should make the information public so that everybody can look at it and they can talk about it and we all can come up with an understanding as to what we are looking at. When you're sending everything privately, the people who are getting the messages privately cannot cooperate with each other to understand the data that they are looking at. So, and it also prevents people who do know what a website should look like, how social media accounts actually run, what engagement rates are, who can run a quick test on it. They don't get access to that. So, that's a like I said, that's a pretty big red flag. So let's keep it going down. Another question is, are you still making that kind of revenue? As you can see, everyone's questioning how the revenue is done. So Bruno had a pretty good point. He said, what kind of website is this in the first place? Is it AdSense monetized or e-commerce? And if it's the latter, why do you report on AdSense earnings? So that's something is that you can see that he provided as an attachment that they were providing AdSense earnings despite it being a e-commerce website. So AdSense is the money that you make when you put Google ads on your website, right? But if this is an e-commerce website, and if you actually look at it right here, Dog Walk Direct, I do not see a single AdSense advertisement. And you would definitely have them on the main page because the main page is where the majority of the traffic goes. So why would they be claiming in their revenue report and the revenue proofs that this website is generating AdSense earnings? That's very, very, very weird. I don't know what these guys are doing. Also, he said numbers in the revenue proofs don't match the revenue claimed. The web archive shows zero info on the site like it was created a month ago. So I actually got that experience as well. When I'm looking through the website on SimilarWeb, when I'm looking at it on Moz, when I'm looking at it on pretty much all of the other websites that I use for website, analyzation, it has a traffic to, very small, maybe 100, 200, 500. It's nowhere near any of the numbers that the seller is actually claiming. So that in itself is a bit odd. Actually, I just realized maybe I'll have to check that later. Maybe I only did this one tab, so I'll check it later. But anyway, another thing regarding the and it says as for the SEO is claimed to be done for the website. It says Google Analytics shows 99% of social traffic and zero organic. So that's another thing. They kept claiming that SEO, SEO, SEO. This is an SEO ready website. It's an SEO driven website when we just looked and their SEO is totally completely fudged. Like it's not even basic SEO is not even part of this website. And when you look at their traffic, they make no traffic from SEO, none of it, or organic traffic. The majority of it is, or 99% of it is from social traffic. So what the SEO moniker is used for, I have no clue, or other than to make you feel, SEO, it's a buzzword. You mention it enough times and people start thinking that it's a higher website. They also, he said, they claim premium design. I showed you guys the design. There's nothing premium about it. It is pretty much one of the most basic WordPress websites I've ever seen. I just did realize though that I was recording the screen and I assumed it was recording the other tabs, but it's only been recording the main website page. So even for those who've been following along online, you're probably wondering like, what the hell is he talking about? Because you don't see the other tabs that I'm talking about. So I just realized I was only recording in one tab. So don't worry about it though. Just check the links in the YouTube page and also check the links in the podcast and you'll have the full reports. And you can still see what sort of data is associated with the website. Another thing is someone made a good point, or this gentleman, Bruno, made another good point. There are no articles. There's no content marketing of any way, shape, or form on the website. Content marketing is one of the foundations of search engine optimization and generating high quality, traffic to your website. They have none of that. The social media also is not accessible from the website. So if you go to the website and you poke around a little bit, you can't find their social media pages. And if you have any sort of experience with WordPress, adding social media icons is as simple as a click. There's so many plugins that will add them in every nook and cranny of the website. So for them not to have it is a bit suspicious. Why are they hiding their social media pages? So, I mean, I could go on and, you can run through the seller's interaction in his seller's page, but 100% this website is not worth a single dollar. I mean, it. I don't even know if it makes any revenue whatsoever. I'm going ahead and stamping this as a definite buyer beware. Get away from it. Do not buy it. Do not bid on it. Do not waste your time with it. Move on. The fact that it's one of the most active websites on Flippa is a bit weird. Maybe they need to rework how they define active, because this thing shouldn't be getting a single bid. It shouldn't be selling for more than a couple $100, and that's just for maybe the social media followers. So other than that, stay away from this website. Don't buy it and don't bid on it. And hopefully, in any of the subsequent Website Worth It series, I'll actually be able to get a hold of a website on one of these buy and sell website platforms that actually is worth the money that is being asked for it. But anyway, thanks again for checking out another episode of the Buyer Beware series. I got a lot of messages from a lot of you who are on Flippa, some of you are on Empire Flippers, and some people who just, found me on Anchor and also on YouTube, some private messages asking whether or not I do consultation and stuff like that. I'm going to make a follow-up video. I definitely do, but I'll make a follow-up video for that. But anyway, if you like the content, if you feel like you're learning something, if you feel like I helped you avoid, wasting your time on these types of websites, because I went ahead and spent mine, but go ahead and give this video a like if you're on YouTube, subscribe if you're on YouTube. If you're on Anchor, thanks again. I appreciate it. Just keep listening. Send me, if you're on Anchor, send me a voice message. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know if you have any questions. I got a couple already from some of you, and I'm going to definitely follow up as soon as I can. But anyway, thanks again, guys. Have a great day, and I'll catch you guys later.